Heroes and legends, dynasties, the Monroe power, alternative. The time had finally come. The Monroe had finally secured a place that they owned, and now with the capital of a major country as the power source. They utilized the DNA and extracted from the soldier and injected in their troops and the sisters, Shadel of Chaldea, Leandra Rolla of the Sultan, and the giant Junetta. Seeing the success of the super enhancement that these girls got, Emma Sound herself, the leader of the Monroe, injected and went through the procedure. With this, it was supercharged and powerful enough to take on anyone. And now they begin their first target, the invasion of the planet of the UDN. For their, for their first bout, Junette the Giant went on a rampage against Edo Trotter. Edo Trotter was stunned. They did not expect such a attack. The twins, President Jans and Vice President Yex, were crushed by this giant. Their daughter Selena had no choice but to retreat and shelter as their commando saw Brevia had to protect her. The newcomer, Campbell, a loyal new commander of Air Charter, refused to let their country fall like this, and so he met the giant in battle. He was a brave and powerful warrior. If Janelle did not enhance herself, she would definitely be killed by this warrior. However, the enhancement had made her strong and let her reach her full potential. With that, Campbell was slain by Junetta, and Elder Trotter had fallen. Elsewhere, Shadel of Chaldea led her force towards the Methodology, who was one of the founding countries of the UDN back in the dimensions, being led by the Prime Minister, Diariano. The daughter and her and she had a daughter who always gets themselves in trouble, Leah Shea. And Leah Shea always had to rely on Clark, who is the head of security, to bail her out. This trouble was that of the forces of the Monroe. See, Leah Shea led the Monroe forces, thinking that she was a friend. Leon Chanel straight to the heart of mythology, not realizing that they were enemies. Seeing that, the minister and head of security had no choice but try to save Lachey from being slain. And then Shadel slaying Clark right in front of Lachey. She screamed in terror as blood spilled on her face. And then the defense minister Dawes had arrived, but he was slain. And then the virus of the Monroe forces spread like wildfire, destroying the meritology, and the PM Darian was captured. Elsewhere, Carlos Yana and Tresses Tropicure decided to join forces against the Monroe. Emma prepares her troops. The forces of Yana Travis, Laurie, the grand leader of Tropicure, Carla Bergegon, the leader of the Yana forces, Civil, the gentleman, the Quell, the greedy politician, the Grand Admiral Chev had a massive ship forces, Camel, who was a corrupt couple of Yano, Seacoast leader Dere, Bajor Lapse, the supreme. Okay, that's it. Alright, so basically, what happened These forces worked together to try to defeat the Monroe forces. However, Emma Sound was using the sound in her name to a full advantage. Now poised to new powers, Emma then used sound waves to stun the enemy and destroy their radars and their sonars and their communications, and causing half of their forces to go deaf, unable to hear the footsteps of the marching soldiers of the Monroe. Then Emma Sound then took to the battlefield herself and make way and make do against these evil forces of the Yana and the noble tropical forces were completely destroyed. With this, the Union were in trouble, and the whole planet was about to be consumed by the Monroe forces. Not allowing this to happen, the remaining countries and the head dogs of the Union decided to attack them jointly to defend their planet against these Russian invaders. So with this, Emma took it upon herself to hire the space mercenaries, Amber Reed and Heiser, in order to assist them in taking down the Iron Chancellor Dietrich and the Supreme Leader Kibana, respectfully. The Baja state and the new state of Lasprey. Their forces were led by the Supreme Leader Kibana, the Iron Chancellor Dietrich, the Fire Marshal Holzer, the right-hand man to Dietrich, Laverne, the Army Commander Moth, the female Grand General Ross, the Army Major Rex. All were there. This battle was going to be fierce. The Monroe forces, the Cardine of the Chardins Cardine, Leandro Rollers Sultan, and Jeanette and her giant army, along with Heiser and his space mercenaries, all followed Elmer Sound to the final battle to take the planet of the Union and thus the Milky Way galaxy. Soon, Emma could see it now, being established as a proper power in the universe. Dietrich was not allowing these invaders to ruin his ambitions before they even start, and so he sent his forces to attack. They was kind of a fire attack, led by Marshall. However, the Monroe forces saw past it, and they allowed Jeanette to pick up a giant pool and splash the water across the battlefield, making the fire attack almost impossible, given how moist everything is. The enemy is soaked and wet, Emma said. Now march. While the enemy is stuck in the mud, we will ram them with our vehicles. Forward! And then, using the technology and the vehicles of the space mercenaries, the Monroe forces charged the Union's position. The Iron Chancellor was furious, and so he ordered reinforcements to arrive. They came. The Army General Roker and Tamar, the young Minister of Resources of Baja and Lapsbury, respectfully had arrived. All of a sudden, enemy troops. Heiser was excited. His battle got his blood boiling. Leandra was also excited. She was now finally at a time that she could finally fight with all her might. Emma Sound then used her sound powers once more to confuse the enemy's communications, so they would not be able to communicate. It makes no difference having a large army. If you cannot communicate and be able to organize yourselves properly, you're nothing more than a bunch of ants waiting to be squashed. Janetta, crush our foes. Janetta then started squishing, and the armies were very confused and did not know what to do. Unable to command her forces, Kibana charged the battlefield and used her might to push back these invaders. However, Emma Sound used her powers to combat Kibana, and Kibana was soon defeated. The Iron Chancellor, seeing defeat, decided to reluctantly surrender. And at last, the Monroe forces had the whole galaxy under their wrap. With this, Emma smiled and laughed as she looked towards the heavens. The name Monroe will be known to all the universe as a proper power now. All will bow before me, she proclaimed. And then one day, she too could reach for the greatness, the greatest stars in all the universe.